Dean Ambrose is one of the biggest superstars in WWE today. Whilst he initially appeared in the WWE all the way back in 2006 under the character Jon Moxley, WWE didn't officially sign him until 2011, where he joined WWE's developmental territory Florida Championship Wrestling under the name Dean Ambrose. After wrestling in the company for just under a year, WWE was impressed with his style of wrestling and character, so much so they decided to more or less skip having him debut on NXT and go straight onto the main roster, where he debuted as one-third of the Shield alongside Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns at the Survivor Series pay-per-view. The trio were a dominant force together, but even after they broke up for the first time, all three went on to having successful careers, winning championships and headlining pay-per-views. Whilst Ambrose was the final member to win the WWE Championship, he would go on to win other championships including the Intercontinental, United States and Raw Tag Team Championship, effectively becoming the 8th Grand Slam champion in WWE history, a feat that only few wrestlers have ever achieved. So, is Ambrose currently thinking to himself, what is left to accomplish in this company? As news source PW Torch recently reported that Ambrose is calling it quits with WWE after his current contract expires, which is just after Wrestlemania 35. Ambrose broke the news to WWE management over the weekend, including a direct meeting with Vince McMahon after being offered a new contract and a raise weeks ago. So one thing's for sure, his reasons for leaving aren't anything to do with money. But why has he made the decision to leave WWE? Well, we have 3 reasons why. Number 1. He hates his current character. When Dean Ambrose returned to WWE after an injury, he had changed his look slightly. He was the same lunatic, be it without a fringe now. In a shocking turn of events, the Shield would reform. However, just after Roman Reigns made the emotional announcement on Raw of him being diagnosed with leukemia and as a result had to put his wrestling career on hold, WWE decided that this was the night to turn Ambrose heel, turning on Seth Rollins after they won the Raw Tag Team Championship. Whilst many thought the turn was in poor taste and poorly timed, we disagree. The turn was done perfectly, as nobody expected it to happen that night. This was clearly a more ruthless and sadistic side of Ambrose that we rarely saw. It was a chance for WWE and Ambrose to push boundaries in pro wrestling, as they initially used Roman's illness as a way to draw nuclear heat. But quickly enough, WWE backtracked on the idea and decided not to use it. Worse yet was his heel character, as WWE had him in nonsensical promos, wearing a gas mask to the ring as he called out the city's odour, and not only that, but getting his inoculations in the keister just before travelling there, all whilst delivering a heelish promo to Rollins. The gimmick just didn't work, and instead of tapping into the maniacal side of his character, Ambrose turned into a goofy heel germaphobe. With that said, Ambrose himself didn't like where the character was going, as PW Torch also reported Ambrose has reached breaking point with the direction of his character, and when asked by one of his wrestling colleagues, they responded by saying he hates hokey shit. Number 2. Demoted down the card. The last time we saw Ambrose in the main event on a pay-per-view was all the way back in 2017 at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, where he was the second wrestler to be eliminated in the chamber match for the championship. Ever since then, Ambrose has been nowhere near the main event, and has simply remained as a mid-carder, not having any chance at the championship ever since that match. Whilst both Ziggler and McIntyre reminded him of his lack of push pre-Shield breakup, they couldn't have been closer to the truth, as it's clear Ambrose has been frustrated with his position for years. It could be that WWE doesn't see Ambrose as a major star anymore, and judging by his recent booking, that being getting eliminated quite quickly early on in the Rumble, losing to Rollins clean on Raw, and having a face-off with Nia Jax, it all seems to indicate they just don't care anymore. And number 3, his health. When Ambrose suffered a tricep injury in December 2017, there was no reason to believe the injury was anywhere near life-threatening. Ambrose explained in an interview with The Monitor that it was just one nightmare after another. It was a pretty challenging period of time to go through. I ended up having 2 different surgeries. I had this MRSA staph infection. I nearly died. I was in hospital for a week, plugged up to this antibiotic drip thing, and I was on all these antibiotics for months that made you puke and crap your pants. Now, whilst injuries can occur in any wrestling promotion, WWE's full-on and tiring schedule doesn't help matters, as it doesn't give wrestlers a chance to rest and recover properly. With other promotions such as New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor, the schedule isn't so brutal, meaning less injuries can occur. Whilst many will jump to the conclusion that Ambrose is headed for All Elite Wrestling, there's no indication that was on the cards, but it can't be ruled out entirely. What do you guys think of Dean Ambrose leaving after WrestleMania? Let us know in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.